amandascorner.com. Today I'm going to share with you one version of Mini Tower and Monkey performed on the half Cadillac. So I have my push-through bar sprung with a heavy spring from below, and I have two safety chains from above. So on occasion I do have a safety chain slip off. So in those instances, I'm always grateful that I have a second one attached. So if you have two, go ahead and put both on. So I've seen a lot of different variations of Mini Tower and Monkey over the years, and in most of them that I see, the participant will be lying on their back with their head underneath the bar. We're going to reverse that tonight. In reversing this, you can actually make it easier for someone who doesn't have as much flexibility down through the hamstrings and the back side of the body. You can also make it more challenging for somebody who has a lot of openness and flexibility, and that's the type of version we're going to do tonight. So this is definitely for somebody who's got a bit more range, a bit more flexibility, and you would not want to give this variation to somebody with tight hamstrings. Mini Tower is a fabulous, fabulous exercise for opening down the back of the body. So it's great for opening, depending on how we do it, into the back, into the glutes, down the hamstring, down the calf. It's wonderful for opening up the neural tissue through the sciatic nerve. So for someone that suffers from sciatica, this can be a really beneficial exercise. But in this variation, we'll get all of that, but we're also going to open up the front of the hip, into the hip flexor, and possibly down into the quadriceps too. So it's really a really nice version. Okay, you have to get down very low. So you're going to slide yourself underneath your bar, and then you're going to scoot off. So half of my bum is actually off of the edge of the table here. My sit bones are not on the table anymore. You can do this with the sit bones still on. You may not get as much of a front of the hip and down the quadricep opener, but that's okay. The further down you go, not only will you get more openings for the front of the hip, but you're going to get more down the back side of the body on the opposite side. We're just going to start with a little arm work. So my feet are planted, I'm in my neutral, my tummy is tight here. I'm going to grab the bar with both hands so that my hands are lining up over my shoulder joints. And with an exhale, I'm going to go ahead and press the bar up towards the ceiling. And as I inhale, I'm going to draw the elbows in, down, narrow towards the body. I'm going to keep the chin tucked down and in. I'm going to keep the range small so that I keep resistance on the bar the entire time. So the inhale draws the elbows narrow to the body, and the exhale presses up and out. I'm going to stop the range before the safety chains would grab it. And as long as I keep a little bit of slack on the safety chains, then I will keep resistance underneath the bar, and my muscles will have to keep working. Exhale, pressing up and out. I'm going to do one more. This is just to warm up a little bit. We're going to hold the arms straight. With long arms, I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to perform a little ceiling punch with straight elbows. So from the scapula, from your shoulder blades, I'm pressing up to the ceiling with the exhale. I'm inhaling and allowing those shoulder blades to come down into the cushion as if they were imprinting into the cushion. All the while, I'm aiming to keep the shoulders down long from the ears and slight softness in the elbow joints. So this ceiling punch, scapular protraction and retraction, is for the serratus anterior muscle. Okay, now we're going to bring the feet underneath. So I'm going to start with my Pilates style stance. I'm on the toes or balls of the feet, heels are glued together. My arms are going to come down. So I'm so low that my hands are going to flop off. And I don't really want my wrists just hanging, so I'm going to flip the palms open. Another option would be to come and rest your hands onto the metal uprights. From here, with my exhalation, I'm going to pretend like there is a rope from the ceiling connecting into my heels. And as I exhale, I'm going to begin to straighten the legs, but I'm going to let the heels lead, like the rope is pulling the heels up first, and then I'm going to hold and breathe. I'm going to allow the bar to press the toes down really heavily towards me. So now I'm starting to get an opener here through the lateral part of the calf, so the outer compartment of the calf, back of the knee, and then up into the hamstrings. And I'm just going to stay here for a breath or two and just allow the body to open. I'm going to draw the tummy down and in. You are likely not going to be neutral anymore. Your back will probably flatten, and that's okay. Just keep the tummy tight. With an inhalation, as I breathe in, I'm going to bend the knees, and I'm going to allow the knees to open towards my shoulders. So they're clearing my body, and I'm going to curl up into this little ball. Your tailbone might lift up. That's okay. Again, it's okay if the back is flat. It's okay if the tailbone lifts. If it does that, then you'll probably get a little bit of stretch coming into the low back, and that can feel really nice. We want everything to be pain-free so that you're not straining the body. So we're going to repeat a slow stretch each direction. I'm going to exhale and press the heels up towards the ceiling. Allow the toes to melt down. One of the things that I love, love, love about Mini Tower Series is that you get such a wonderful stretch, but it's also a lot of resistance, so you get a lot of strengthening. We're going to inhale and drop down. So it's just a great sequence to illustrate how in Pilates we can be either simultaneously stretching and strengthening or following them back to back. And that helps to create a long, lean physique, and it helps to reduce muscle soreness. It helps to clear out the lactic acid. Okay, so we're going to exhale, press up towards the ceiling. With the inhale, I'm going to roll through the feet and press the toes to the sky. With my exhale, I'm going to let the toes melt down. And then with the inhale, I'm going to let the knees bend wide again. So this is a 4-part series, and we're going to take a breath with each portion. So I exhale the heels to the ceiling, inhale to point the toes, exhale to lower the toes down, and inhale to bend the knees nice and wide. We're going to try it 2 more times. Exhale, inhale. Another option with this to get a little bit more work down through the neural tissue is to lift the chin to chest and repeat. Exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale. This also draws in some of the upper abdominal muscles. Okay, from here, we're going to exhale, press the heels up, inhale, point the toes and stay. I'm going to make sure my right foot has a really good grip on the bar. I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to lower the left leg off. What you don't want to do is to hit this big solid part of the bar. A lot of people bring it straight down, not thinking or not seeing it, and that hurts. So you want to bend the knee down into the chest, clear the bar, and then allow the leg to come off. I'm going to keep a little bit of a turnout, so I have a little slight external rotation on both sides. From here, I'm going to inhale and let the toes melt down, and then let this knee continue to open to the right shoulder. And as it comes down, hopefully the weight of this leg hanging, I get a little bit of an opening in the front of that leg. I'm going to exhale and press up. Inhale to point the toes. If you are doing this on a table that is higher up off the ground, mine's kind of low, you can benefit from more stretch. Or it's really nice to have a person kind of holding that leg or even bending at the knee gently and pulling the foot in towards you. That's what I do for my clients. That really deepens the stretch. Okay, exhale up. We're going to inhale, point the toes, let the knee come into the chest, add the foot, and of course you can repeat this on the other side. Inhale the toes down. If you get a really great stretch, you could stay and hold it. Good. Okay, so I'm going to finish here. We're going to press up, I'm going to bring the knee in, and now we're going to come into monkey. So we'll allow the toes to melt down, let the knees come down and in, and my hands will grab the bar on either side of the feet. So as I exhale and straighten the legs, my upper body is naturally going to start to lift up. I'm going to raise the head and look at the belly. I'm going to try to keep the shoulders relaxed. I see a lot of people keep their shoulders up with this, so try to soften the face and shoulders. We're going to inhale to press up and exhale to release down. And we're going to go up and down. So it's okay if the legs are not completely straight as you go through monkey, but your goal is not to bend them more with each one. You want to keep them as straight as you can and try to let the movement come through the ankles and through the feet. So right now you are actually giving yourself a little neural tissue massage. The neural sheath around that sciatic nerve is getting massaged up and down. It's moving, and that's really healthy for that tissue. Good. So we're going to come down. Now, we're going to let the hands come down by the sides. We're going to exhale, press the heels up. Inhale, point the toes. And then I'm going to open my heels so my feet are now in parallel. I'm going to let the toes melt down, and I'm going to hold a stretch here. Okay, a couple of options. With the inhale, you can bend the knees down and in towards the chest. like we did with the externally rotated V stance. Some people fold really nicely like this and just don't get a stretch. They get blocked by their body first. This has always been a tight position for me, so I like to come into this. If you don't get a stretch here, then what I recommend to release your hamstring stretch, just inhale and press up and work from there. So you can either press up or bend the knees down and in and hold. And then we can repeat our pattern, exhaling the heels up, inhaling to point the toes, exhaling the toes to melt down, inhale to bend the knees. Even if you are able to come in really deeply, you can lift the hips with this, that's okay. Just plant them back down as you lift your heels. So we get that long line, as much space from each sit bone to each heel as possible. Okay, so you certainly could repeat what we did with the first set, letting a leg come down in parallel. You'll get a different stretch down through the top of the hip, top of the thigh, through the quadricep. But I'm going to show you something else that's really great to do. So with the toes pointed, I'm going to release my left leg. So again, you want to make sure you've got a good grip on that right foot. And then I'm going to make a figure four. So it's going to come across my right thigh, higher than the knee joint. I don't ever want to put pressure through the knee joint, so it's a bit higher. And I'm going to keep this left knee open. It's okay if you need to press that left knee open, but again, just come up higher than the knee joint so you can be kind to your body. You're going to inhale, let the toes melt down, and then start to bend the knee until you get a stretch over this left hip through your external rotators and your piriformis muscle. It's fabulous. It's much deeper than if you were to do the figure four stretch that I like to do on the floor. You get much more pressure and it's a different angle. We're going to exhale, press the heel to the ceiling. So if you can take advantage of that, you're going to get an amazing calf stretch. You're going to press up through the toes, let the toes melt down. Don't cheat the movement. You don't want to round the corners. You want to fulfill each movement, and you'll just get amazing stretches. And hold and breathe. Exhale the heel, inhale, point the toes, we'll switch sides. So on this side, I want to take care that I don't get caught in my spring. Inhale to let the toes melt down, exhale to lower down and find a stretch. This side is tighter for me. Exhale, press the heel up, point. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing. So let's switch. I'm going to come back to the first side, but we're going to stay in our figure four. We're going to bend down and in. We're going to go into a one-legged figure four monkey. So your hands will come up to the bar. You're going to press up. I'm going to let this knee continue to press open, and then up and down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Shoulders and face are relaxed. And I'm going to do one more. I usually like to do 3 to 5 repetitions. Melt it down, release the arms, exhale the heel up, find that stretch. Inhale to point and switch. And again, I want to take care of this spring. I don't want to get rubbed or cut. And then we're going to monkey. Exhale, inhale. Two more times. Melting down, releasing the arms, exhaling the heel to the ceiling. Inhale to point, add that foot, let both toes melt down, bend the knees in, and I'm going to release out from here. Do you see I just hit my heel after I lectured you not to do that, but not hard. It didn't hurt. And then allow the bar to lower all the way down. So again, this bar is fairly low. You can scoot back out or you can shimmy down and under. Just be careful not to bump your head because that definitely won't feel good. So that is one variation of mini tower and monkey that I like to use. Again, as you come down really far off the table, you can get a great opener down the front of the body, but it becomes very intense down the back side of the body. So only use it if it's appropriate for you. If you have any questions, then please feel free to email me at amandascorner, CORENER@charter.net, and I will do my best to answer your questions. And thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye.